Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am Sebastian Coburg, this is GGvision number 4 and today we're prying into Protoss. The common theme of the last few episodes of GGvision, and indeed the philosophy behind the show, is to look into competitive StarCraft 2 and try to find not only the best way to deal with strategical concerns, but to find the new, the undiscovered ways of doing so. I want to dispel the myth about the metagame, a phrase that gets thrown around so much, as if it was something set in stone or decided by omnipotent StarCraft scholars whose understanding of the game is beyond us mere mortals. That is not the case. The metagame is not a rule, it's just a concept by which to talk about current, though ever-changing, trends and fluctuations within the gameplay, how it is being played strategically at the highest level. This depends on the current map pool, the latest patch, changing and shifting views about balance, and indeed players' experience or lack thereof with the game. In a year from now, people will know more. Now, people know quite little. The metagame is not something we have to be governed by. It's good to know about, but it's more important to know about it and then look at it from the outside to see how can we break it. Let me illustrate this by an example. Say that you are a very good Protoss player, but now you're facing one of the very best macro-oriented Zerg players on the planet. You cannot fight him heads-on in a straight standard match. He will crush you and serve your digital entrails to his roommates. No, you must find an extraordinary way to win. Something like this.
And KiwiKaki in the meantime getting a warp prism out. Wow. Wow. So actually this could be very clever, and this could really hurt Idra, because more or less what he'll be able to do is dump these immortals in the back of the base, and because Idra going much more mineral heavy than gas heavy, he's not going to have a lot of anti-air to really cope with this for a while. So it's possible that KiwiKaki, with just his fantastic micromanagement, will be able to do a lot of damage. Unfortunately, it looks like that Overlord saw that warp prism as it was moving out, so I think Idra at least is going to know this is coming. Let's see if he can actually defend against it. Really the key is going to be these creep tumors, as well as perhaps Overlord spreading creep here in the back corner, but really Idra does not have a lot of Zerglings to get this done with. So let's see, he's got, well actually never mind, it looks like he just pumped a lot out as soon as he saw it. Has 22 Zerglings, really needs to pick off these immortals as soon as they drop into, whoa! Zealots warping in, so warp gates in the background to ward Zealots in to take care of the Zerglings and protect them against protect the immortals against them, but unfortunately one immortal already taken out, but still KiwiKaki pushing in with a significant zealot and immortal force, and done a very good job of screening thus far. So now let's see if Idra can try to abuse a little bit of that Zergling speed to pick that immortal off. That's really going to be the key in his defense here. He needs to pump as many roaches as possible, and also needs to get those Zerglings to pick that immortal off. But yeah, and there's the Zerglings diving in. This is huge. KiwiKaki needs to defend it. The Zerglings on top of the immortal, whittling down the health. Did manage to take the shield out, but not able to kill the immortal, and that's really going to be the big factor, is that immortal just able to do a blunt force trauma. Looks like there is an upgrade that will finish, but there's not going to be a lot of roaches to help cope with it. So Idra in a lot of trouble. That roach den with just a sliver of health. More zealots warping in as I speak. Well, actually not as I speak, but they will be momentarily for KiwiKaki.
That's how it's done, folks. KiwiKaki, a very interesting player, French-Canadian, I'd love to have him on the show sometime. But also, that's quite a nifty and an extreme all-in-ish kind of move. You don't have to be that extraordinary. You can just use the standard optimized way, because of course it is very good at what it does, but you can make sure to tweak certain aspects, certain moves, so that you're as sharp as possible in a given situation. You use an ability beyond what's normal to its utmost effect, as illustrated here.
Gosh, he's got a huge army here. If you look at that food count, 181 over 200. This thing's almost maxed out. 198 over 200 for Liquid Haypro. Looks like we've got a giant force. Psi-storms going all kinds of directions to try to push this army back. Very nice micro on Liquid Haypro's part to avoid that. Psi-storm connecting there on a few of those mutalisks. And it looks like mouzHasu is sort of in between these flyers and these hydralisks. This is going to be an intense situation. Psi-storms going down on both sides. The mutalisk moving into that Psi-storm. Most of these psi-storms are missing. That one connects right on the top of those roaches. The roaches are getting in the game, focusing down these sentries, which is a nice move because force fields are so powerful, especially in an open field situation like this. You could basically build the battlefield at will. Nice little blink there from those stalkers trying to take the mutalisks, but Liquid Haypro is doing an excellent job of avoiding any major damage to his army, and he's just trying to kind of pick off high-price units here and there. Oh my gosh, that psi-storm connects right in the middle of those hydralisks. Now they're getting force fielded off. Some devastating losses there, and these mutas are just kind of just dodging those matrix style those psi-storms, and now they're picking off these high templar. Those high templar, two of them just got murdered for free there, as we see the Greater's Fire go down. Those stalkers took that down in time. Those, oh my gosh, some of the best force fields I've ever seen. Those speedlings didn't know what to do. They were kind of stuck in place. Oh no, these stalkers are stuck now between some brood lords from Liquid Haypro. Those brood lords are getting in the game, murdering all of those zealots.
Now that, folks, is a very enjoyable Zerg versus Protoss that you should all check out. For the Win Broadcasting is a new channel to me. I just discovered them and I really like their stuff. They do dual commentary, something that is very rare these days and that I greatly miss. You should so check it out. As always, links to all these videos are in the description. And I'd like to say great many thanks to the people who send me links to videos. I name you all super dudes. But I'd like to show you some more. Again, if you're behind, if you're under siege, looking into Protoss now, you need to use all the weapons at your arsenal, even if that is sneakiness that will make Idra nerd rage at you. We have an excellent way of doing this now in the game. Hallucination has been so much improved from StarCraft 1. It has so much untapped potential. I'd like to show you what, again, KiwiKaki did when Idra was pressing him hard.
Look at all these stalkers. So he had 9 to start with, down to 8, down to 7, you know, down to 6. These probes being pulled for KiwiKaki. This Zealot, Dark Templar still in the mix. He's got 4 kills just by himself, down to only 3 stalkers here. And with these 2 Dark Templar hacking away at his Nexus, he has to pull all his probes. He's warping in stalkers at home instead of at that Xel'Naga tower to continue the assault, because this Observer is nearly done. This Nexus might go down here. It is down to only 400 health. This Observer is going to pop out just in time. The Observer is out. These Dark Templar are taking fire, and only 1 left. Oh my god, they nearly killed the Nexus. Only 29 health on that Nexus. Oh look, check this out. Okay, so he's got a hallucinated Phoenix. He used his probe to build a pylon here within warp-in range of White Raw's base. He's got 3 Dark Templar coming in. This Nexus only has 330 shield and only 20 health from that original attack, so these Dark Templar are easily going to be able to cleave through there. One more hit on the Nexus, there he goes, and now he's going to be able to start just chomping through these probes. White Raw has 420 minerals, so he's either going to be able to rebuild a Nexus or build some more units. If you check it out, he's sent his Tier 1 army over here to counter at KiwiKaki's main. He has ton of energy left on these sentries. The Dark Templar look like they are just going to try to escape. White Raw still has 420 minerals, but he does have 1 Colossus on the way. This Dark Templar does get taken out, so KiwiKaki's offensive there is pretty much done. He's going to have to worry about defense right now.
Just some Protoss food for thought there. Phoenix play and hallucinations, that is where it at. Answer to many current riddles, I say. Now, of course, there is also so many more things you can do. I'm going to show you a clip of a game that has been receiving very many views because it is very epic, very beyond anything usual. Now this is just showing you what can be done, and if you haven't watched this game, you're in for a treat. It involves all the good stuff.
And here comes the Dark Templar once again. Gonna start to try to slice and dice some of these workers. Oh, nice EMP right there. The EMP does momentarily reveal Dark Templar. And there goes another EMP on that DT. So it does momentarily reveal cloaked units. And that is why the Dark Templar was used. No, the EMP was used, excuse me. And look at this, we now have a Warp Prism, another DT coming in. I don't know, man. I almost feel like Maka.Prime, you've got so many resources. What are you waiting for? Are you just toying with your opponent? You've got 11,000 minerals. Is this fastest map possible? What is he doing? He's got so much money. Why isn't he warping? Oh man, there we go. There's a bunch of stalkers. And it looks like this command center could potentially go down. Yeah, I think this planetary fortress is pretty much doomed. These stalkers doing way too much damage. But we can see the probe Congo line coming off here. Everyone's saying, me first, I want to go into battle and die. I think right now Maka.Prime might be sending these in to go die because he wants to free up some of his supply count. No, he's going to go in and use them to attack. He's going to try to break the Terran army now with a massive probe attack. And oh man, the Terran army here in a lot of trouble. I think the probes could possibly do a lot of damage. Some storm being used, reckless storms over these zealots and probes even. But I don't think Maka.Prime cares. He is going to take off this gold expansion. And we have some more storm action down to the south. Maka here cleaning up the Terran army. The probes reign supreme. There's the mothership. The mothership arrives in the completely wrong location. And oh man, that's a bunch of zealots it just recalled in. So the recall from the mothership, that's an ability we almost never see used. But there it goes. The zealots coming in, taking out the Terran infrastructure. We have more forces warping up here.
What can I say? You just have to love it. Returning to the core point though. The metagame, the standard ways of playing, which we are being fed through VODs and articles and everything, is just an idea. And there are better ideas out there. You don't need to be day 9. Though huge kudos to the guy, he's the smartest StarCraft scholar in the world. But even so, you don't need to have his level of understanding to think out new solutions to current problems. If you're competing at the silver-gold level, you will be facing silver-gold adaptations of the standard play. So you only need to figure out how to best them, not Huck or QXC, in your own play. The original solutions is where the next evolution of the metagame resides. And I'd just like to enforce that point. Now, before we go, do follow me on Facebook. Next episode, we're going to be looking at the latest tournaments, the IEM New York and the MLG DC, and if Blizzard has released the videos by then, also what took place in Anaheim at BlizzCon this past weekend. Looking into the tournaments, see if there are any patterns, unforgettable moments, and if you have any particular picks, do send me those PMs. I so appreciate when you send me material to use in the show, and please do so. Now, I'd like to leave you with, again, of course, a bit of hindsight, a blast from the past that really showcases what can be done in an extraordinary way. This time, I have to leave it over to Nalra, a player who will always be in the Protoss Hall of Fame of Ownage, doing what he does best. Now, until next time, play that Protoss, find those new solutions. I'll see you all soon. GG and out.
예, 자원 위주로 플레이하다가 자. 이야, 이거는 다 고백을 하고 소용없어. 자, 갑니다. 강민 선수 갑니다. 알루시네이션. 야, 예. 이영민 선수 콜. 자, 리콜입니다. 리콜 2방이에요. 자, 이제 2대이기 때문에. 예, 2방이고 여태껏 모았는데 말입니다. 자, 이거. 자, 이건. 강토.